Hey guys, and welcome to the Muggles4Magic podcast. I'm your host, Ayana Carroll, and on today's episode, we will be discussing the casting choices for HBO's Season 2 for the series of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Here today with me, we have the wonderful Kiara Montague, who is the casting director for this series. She is here to talk to us about the new cast, along with answers to questions many Wizarding fans alike want to know. Anyways, let's all give a warm, magical welcome to our guest, Kiara.
Hello everyone, and thank you for having me here. My name is Kiara, as Ayana has already introduced me, and I'm so excited to share this wonderful news with all of you listeners. Thank you, Ayana, for inviting me here.
No, thank you for taking the time to come onto the show. Now, let's get started. Viewers and longtime Harry Potter fans are looking forward with curiosity of how the new cast for the series is going to look. I have heard that there are quite a few changes. May I ask how you decided who was fit for the cast and what that process was like?
Sure. We do not have many returning members for this new series, as this was mostly due to the proper age casting. However, we do have one recasted member that we will get to later in the podcast, which even Harry Potter fans will recognize immediately. Although, most of the cast are all new choices that we have decided would fit perfectly for each character. This process was chosen based on personality, past roles, and acting abilities.
Wow, I've heard that the casting for the series looks more diverse. Was race an aspect that was factored into the casting, as well as the risk of race bending any of the characters? I know most fans have the question whether or not HBO is trying to just have checklist diversity, or are they actually including proper representation?
Great questions. First off, yes, this cast is way more diverse compared to the original movies. The reason we casted more BIPOC actors was to push past the outdated usual casting and provide more inclusivity for both the actors and fans. We hope that fans can see themselves represented in all aspects of the Wizarding world, not just as background characters.
Cool. To add on to that, how was the process, and working alongside in general, with J.K. Rowling as an executive producer for the series?
Basically, with Rowling being the executive producer, we have her insight and knowledge of the books regarding originality and what aspects of the series will stay true to her original vision. However, she's not the showrunner, which means that although she has a lot of power and involvement in decision-making, such as in casting and creative insight, there's still someone higher up as the showrunner to be the head writer and make more final decisions. But so far, there's been no pushback on casting choices with Rowling.
Great. Well, now speaking of casting choices, let's move on to some of the roles we want to discuss with you today. First being the casting of Dumbledore. May I ask you why you chose Morgan Freeman for this role, and how was the decision of casting Dumbledore as a black man?
Yes, we chose Freeman because of a variety of factors. Firstly, he is a globally renowned actor who has played many influential roles. We have seen him in many series and movies ranging from narrating to acting, such as his narration of the Oscar-winning documentary March of the Penguins, and his roles playing God in Bruce Almighty and Nelson Mandela in Invictus. As far as Dumbledore being played by a black actor, we wanted to cast someone who was both looks and personality-wise fit for the role of such an important character in this fantastical realm. Dumbledore's influence, as the great wizard he is, needs to be portrayed by someone who shares a great, powerful, and wise presence, such as Morgan Freeman.
Okay. How does this compare with the book descriptions and what we saw in the past movies of Dumbledore's appearance?
In both the books and movies, the description of Dumbledore includes his iconic long silver hair, as well as twinkling blue eyes and having a tall and thin stature. Our main concern was keeping the silver hair with the character, which is easily corrected with the beauty of makeup and movie magic, and making sure his personality is accurately portrayed so the fans can still have the sense of the nostalgia they feel when watching this character.
Wow, this casting already looks amazing, and we're only just getting started. Next, we have Leah Savage-Jeffries returning in the second season as Hermione Granger. I'm so glad to see her back for the second season, even with the past controversy surrounding the character. How was the process in selecting Hermione Granger to be a character of color, even with the past backlash against Hermione being black?
Honestly, Leah is such an amazing actor. We have previously seen her in her known role as Annabeth in the Disney series remake of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. She is young and has great acting skills, which led us to cast her for the role of Hermione. However, we are very aware of the controversies surrounding this character. Regardless of past backlash of casting her as anything other than white, this was something we discussed with Rowling and made the decision to push past. In this day and age, we know the importance of representation, as well with the book descriptions of Hermione only stating that she has a bossy tone, lots of bushy brown hair, and rather large front teeth, stating nothing regarding race or racial appearances. Leah has faced her own hardships with her casting as Annabeth, considering the character was originally portrayed by a white actress, and she has continued to hold her own as well as persevere as an amazing young actress. With this description and characteristics, we have gladly casted Leah Savage-Jeffries for the role and are pleased to continue working with her in this upcoming season.
Interesting. Next, we have Gilderoy Lockhart being played by Chris Pine. Why did you choose him for this character?
As we all know, Chris Pine is known for his charismatic roles and comedy gold personality. Lockhart is a character that requires an actor to portray his characteristics of charisma, narcissism, and entertainment. Chris Pine is perfect for this role, especially looking at his recent casting as Ed Darvis in Dungeons & Dragons. These characteristics are seen as well in his character role of Cinderella's prince in the movie Into the Woods. Also, he's already used to playing roles in fantasy and has the charm to go with it.
Great, and now we have Minerva McGonagall, played by Michelle Yeoh. What was the process in choosing her, especially for a famous Asian actress?
Michelle Yeoh has played many characters that resemble our love for Minerva McGonagall. McGonagall's personality is known to be stern and strict, with aspects of loyalty and dry humor. Michelle has played many roles in the past that make her perfect for this character. Her role as Evelyn Kwan Wang from Everything Everywhere All at Once portrayed characteristics of being strong, blunt, stubborn, and a bit humorous. She's also played similar roles such as Eleanor Young in Crazy Rich Asians and Ying Nan in Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings.
Okay, and last but not least, we have Lucius Malfoy being played by Tom Felton, who is returning from the original Harry Potter movies after playing the role of Lucius' son, Draco Malfoy. Why did you guys decide to bring him back?
Tom Felton's portrayal of Draco Malfoy was a fan favorite, so we just knew he had to come back for this reboot series. He's an amazing actor and does not need any introduction into why he's perfect to play a role in the series. Obviously, due to age and time-wise, he cannot reprise his role of Draco Malfoy, although we figured he'd still be perfect for the role of his past character's father, Lucius, instead.
Whoa, this cast looks amazing so far. I can't wait to see all of them on the series for season 2. Now, with these characters in mind, how is the casting director? Did past controversies and claimed racial stereotypes within both the books and movies play a role in navigating the actors and actresses that would be playing these characters? Was there any risk or hesitancy to cast BIPOC actors?
Yes, there definitely was hesitancy when navigating who would play each role, especially for the characters that are going to be played by BIPOC actors. Both myself as a casting director and the actors know the potential negative feedback that they can possibly receive from fans when taking the responsibility of these roles. However, even with this in mind, each and everyone on board with the series has decided that the possibility is minimal compared to the impact these actors and actresses will have.
Oh, okay. Well, many of the newer viewers for this remake series are of the newer generations, as well as the original fans too. But with the newer generation, we see feedback and controversies of both positive and negative remarks spreading faster than ever with the use of online forums and social media. With this knowledge, how are you guys planning to provide proper representation for these actors and actresses without cultural erasure, along with the avoidance of colorblind casting?
That's a great question. Before even creating the cast, I made sure to do my own research into the characters as well as the cultural aspects regarding the actors and actresses we have casted to portray them. Along with this, I've consulted other casting directors and looked into other fantasy shows and movies that have incorporated a revamped casting for reboots that included more diverse actors. Some of these series included the directors in charge of the new version of The Little Mermaid, as well as a remake of Interview with the Vampire. Both of these productions have recast their main character with a BIPOC actor, and both of which have received a fair share of controversy. As I saw how fans reacted to these in negative lights, I also saw the positive responses the younger generations have made through online forums and social media. For example, with the hashtag #NotMyAriel trending during Halle Bailey's role as Ariel in The Little Mermaid, there was a huge amount of backlash resulting from older fans of the princess. However, even with the controversy, I saw how special and impactful having a black princess was on the newer generation. So many younger black girls saw themselves, finally, in a princess that looked like them. So, to end off on your question, I truly believe that these positive influences are well more prominent and important for minority communities to see in television over the possibility of negative responses from original fans. After all, the newer generation are the future of media. They need representation.
Wow, I could not have worded that any wiser than you have, Kiara. Unfortunately, we are heading towards all the time we have, but I wanted to thank you so much for your time and responses you have given me and my listeners here today on the Muggles4Magic podcast. We're all so excited for what this series has in store for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And that concludes this episode of Muggles4Magic. Have an enchanting day or night, everyone. And remember, to give someone a mythical smile, their response just might feel like magic. Bye!